Its elevation varies by 300 meters, and there are over 170 bends. The longest, most difficult, and the most beautiful racing circuit in the world. This is the Nurbrurgring. A full lap combining its F1 GP course and the Nordschleife, known for its car development testing, is 25.378 kilometers long. Every year, an attempt is made to drive the extreme track for 24 hours straight. This is the Nurburgring 24-hour race. Kazunori Yamauchi has entered the race again this year, and the car he'll be driving is the Nissan R35 GTR. This is actually the first 24-hour endurance race attempt ever made in the R35 Series GTR, and anything could happen. June 2011. The season for endurance racing has returned to the Nurburgring.
今回もともとね、トヨタからシリーズで出ようと思っていたものが大震災の影響で、それが全部中止、プロジェクトが中止になってしまって、で、僕自身今年乗る車はないなと諦めてたんですよね。で、とはいえ、いろんな可能性が、ないわけではなかった。
What happened was that he received some unexpected news. A private team was planning to race in the Nissan GTR and was looking for a driver.
GTR っていう車に巡り合ったのはやっぱりじゃあ出ようっていうふうに思い切るにはいいきっかけでしたよね。GTR でなければ今年は多分出なかっただろうと思いますね。
Schultz Motorsports is run by a privately owned Renault Nissan dealer at the outskirts of Dresden. The owner is the team director, and his two sons are the drivers. What do they think of the GTR?
Also wir finden, dass der GTR ein sehr schönes Fahrzeug ist und er hat wirklich schon von seinem Potenzial her, von Straßenfahrzeug her sehr gute Eigenschaften für die Langstrecke.
GTR って一体どんな車なんだというところで走った最初の印象はですね、横地で 1.8G 近く出るわけですね。で、去年乗った ISF っていうのはだいたい 1.5G ぐらいがマックスの車だったんですね。で、やっぱり 0.3G 増えるっていうのは、僕にとっては未体験の世界でね、もちろんレーシングカートなんかに 2G 近い G っていうのは出ますけれども、あのコースでハイスピードで、2G 近いところまでね、コーナリングスピードが上がっていくっていうのは僕にとっては異次元の体験で。だからそこに慣れるのにまず苦労したということと、あとGTR って速いなと思いましたね。
This chance was actually brought to Kazunori by this man, Yasukichi Yamamoto, president of Opera Performance, who had been eagerly awaiting a chance to race the 24 hours of Nurburgring.
まだ全然このニュルブルクリンクに慣れてないんで、今年はまず経験を積むっていうことを目標に、チームを選び、レースに出るっていうことにしました。
In this year's 24-hour race, Mercedes had announced its participation, bringing together the four top manufacturers of BMW, Audi, and Porsche all in one race. Division 1 is the top category most likely to take the overall win, and these are the cars and their qualifying rankings. The SLS AMG GT3, developed by AMG. 9 cars are participating from private teams. They aim to supply more SLS cars to motorsports teams all over the world by taking the overall win in this race.
Wir haben ja im letzten Jahr mit dem SLS AMG GT3 Kundensportprojekt begonnen, mit der Entwicklung des Fahrzeugs hier auf der Nordschleife. Ganz einfach deswegen, weil es die anspruchsvollste Rennstrecke der Welt ist und weil es natürlich ein ganz besonderes, sehr viel Überholmanöver. Da muss man einfach versuchen, möglichst ohne Berührung, ohne irgendeinen Crash durchzukommen. Wir hoffen natürlich, dass unser Fahrzeug genauso standfest ist wie in den vergangenen Rennen. Und ich denke, dann wird eines unserer 8 Fahrzeuge schon ganz vorne zu finden sein.
Mamero and Black Falcon take second and third in qualifying. Audi is running 6 R8 LMS cars from private teams. One of the drivers is Timo Scheider, the 2-time consecutive DTM champion. However, in the qualifying round, he was 3 seconds short of the Mercedes teams.
Und dass Mercedes ein Auto gebracht hat, war für uns keine große Überraschung. Und dass Mercedes damit auch ein Auto gebracht hat, das eine gute Performance hat, ist für uns keine Überraschung. Insgesamt gilt für die 24 Stunden immer hier das Gleiche. Man braucht ein Auto, das mit der Performance einigermaßen dabei ist. Und ja, ich denke, dass wir nach Porsche hier vielleicht doch die meiste Erfahrung haben. Dass wir Teams haben, die das ganze Jahr die VLN bestreiten. Und dann bin ich natürlich auch davon überzeugt, dass meine Fahrermannschaft die beste ist. Und ich denke, das sollte es mitsammen möglich machen, um den Sieg zu fahren.
The best time for Audi was lapped by Team Phoenix. Matthew Racing had won the Nurbrurgring 24-hour race 4 consecutive years in a row from 2006 to 2010. This year they brought 7 911 GT3s to the track.
Wir konnten ihn nicht viel schneller machen, weil die Balance of Performance unser Fahrzeug oder alle Fahrzeuge mehr eingebremst haben. Haben natürlich an vielen Kleinigkeiten gearbeitet, wie Aerodynamik, Fahrwerk und auch Motor. Wir werden sehen, wie es am Sonntagabend aussieht.
And they qualify in 8th place. And last year's champion who denied Matthew Racing their 5th consecutive win is the BMW Works team. They have brought 2 M3 GTs to the race.
Wir haben im letzten Jahr gewonnen, obwohl wir nicht das schnellste Auto hatten. Wir hatten ein sehr zuverlässiges Auto. Die Konkurrenz hat Probleme bekommen und wir hatten am Ende die Nase vorn. Wir haben jetzt über den Winter das Auto weiterentwickelt, den M3 GT, haben feststellen können, dass wir in der ersten Saisonhälfte ganz vorne dabei sind, auch was das Tempo angeht. Und deshalb sehen wir uns in einer guten Position. Wir haben gute Startplätze. Wir wollen das Rennen sauber angehen, also nicht überhetzen.
And the BMWs achieved 4th and 5th in qualifying. The pole position in qualifying actually did not go to the Germans. It was swept from under their feet by the Ferrari F458 Italia that finished 2nd place overall in last year's race. Their lap time was 8 minutes, 23.764 seconds. This is a private team that has created a car in the image of the 330 P4, based on the F430. The NT Technology P45 is driven by former F1 drivers Nicola Larini and Mika Salo. The Nissan 370Z is positioned in 52nd and 56th overall. The Subaru Impreza is 6th in class, 77th overall. The Lexus LFA carries the blue flasher, only given to the top 36 cars. It secures 2nd and 3rd positions in the SP8 class. The strong contenders in the SP8T class were the GTR and the Golf GT24. Volkswagen has brought 3 of these cars, which were made for the 35-year commemoration of the Golf GTI. And the GTR laps at 9 minutes, 8.240 seconds, placing them 49th overall and in 3rd place behind the 2 Golfs in the SP8T class. The qualifying day comes to an end, proving the high potential of the GTR on the track. The day of the final. The GTR is taken to the starting grid. Though the light rain is subsiding, the road is still wet. The Schultz team has selected all-weather tires for this reason. The starting driver is the older brother, Tobias.
Ich denke mal ganz gut. Wir gleichen uns ziemlich gut aus. Ich fahre jetzt den Start. Ja, ansonsten denke ich mal, sind wir von Zeiten her auf ähnlichem Niveau und das passt schon alles gut.
The younger Michael will take the baton from his brother.
Und ich denke auch auf die 24 Stunden natürlich auch wahnsinnig erfolgreich. Bei Regen, bei Nässe haben wir natürlich bei dem Auto einen kleinen Nachteil mit Gewichtsproblemen. Aber trotzdem können wir mit dem Auto in einer Lauerposition am Werksteam anschließen.
本当に GTR が24時間レース出るのおそらく歴史上初めてのことですから、ちょっと楽しみにしています。ワンアンドオンリーの車ですから完走できたらいいなと思ってます。
Over 220,000 visitors gathered for this race. Notice the car taking a chance from the starting grid. Matthew Racing has decided to start off the race with slick tires. BMW is going with intermediate tires with low-profile treads. And the formation lap starts. Everyone is after the epic glory of winning this race. 202 machines from 33 different countries are driven by all sorts of men, including former F1 drivers, Le Mans winners, and WRC champions. The 39th Nurbrurgring 24-hour race is off to a start. The two SLS take the lead from the start. Passing the Ferrari, they have the top two positions. The starting driver for the GTR team is Tobias. The drivers go at it as if it were a sprint race. Tobias is blocked and passed by car number 235, placing them fourth in their class. In the lead is car number 30, the Mamero Mercedes. In second place is also an SLS of the Black Falcon team. The BMW M3 GTs, equipped with intermediate tires, drop position quickly from fourth and fifth. Two cars ahead of the GTR is one of the big contenders in this race, the number 11 car of Matthew Racing. The GTR closes in on the Porsche. But the GTR has been set up for more downforce, slowing its top speed. They are left behind by the Porsche in the straightaway. As the road surface dries, the Ferrari 458 Italia takes the lead again, followed by the number 1 car of BMW. The choice of intermediate tires finally pays off, and the BMW M3 GT overtakes the Ferrari. Cars equipped with rain tires pit in to change tires. This places the BMW in the top two positions. And the GTR also comes in for their tire change. Though they have changed to slicks, there is still intermittent rain. The Gulf number 235 struggles with the constantly changing weather and is overtaken by the GTR. With the road surface now completely dry, the cars on the track start to reach their full racing speeds. But this raises the risks, and cars are damaged in the process. Chaos lurks in races at the Nurbrurgring, and misfortune is always just around the corner. She extends her bony claws on the BMWs in the lead. The BMW M3 in the lead fails to enter the carousel properly and hits the car ahead. Spinning out of control, they drop their position to 12th place. Golf number 235 closes in behind the GTR. The Golf GT24 is powered by a 5-cylinder 2.5-liter turbo engine, producing 440 horsepower. This is a full racing spec car with a dry sump lubrication system. Lighter than the GTR, it is lightning fast around the bends. The driver of the GTR changes from Tobias to Michael. Both Michael and Tobias have lots of racing experience on the Nurburgring. Golf number 135 closes in on Michael. "6:40 p.m. It's Kazunori's turn. Michael brings the car to the pit. The car shoots out of the pit with new tires. We asked Kazunori what he likes about the Nurburgring and how incredible it is. Check out his speed on the speedometer.
まずフルグプラッツのジャンピングスポットを越えてから右にターンして、あれも飛んで着地してからブレーキングなんですけど、そこでギュッと車速を殺して向きを変えて、トカアクセルをふわって開けていく時の開け方一つで、リアが流れたりするんですよね。でも踏んでいかなきゃいけないところなんで、あそこは毎回ドキドキです。
In front of the GTR is the Corvette that was faster in qualifying. He makes his move inside at over 200 kilometers per hour.
その後ろの長いゆっくり上りながらつづら折りの区間ありますけれども、あそこも GTR で走るとものすごい横縮なんですよ。ラインに車を乗せていくっていうのは結構大変で、少しでも切り遅れると全開で行けてるコーナーが全開で行けなくなりますから。一周走ってみると一番負担がかかる瞬間はどこかっていうで、そうするとGTR 結構フロント重いですからね、カルーセルへの入り方を割と直線的にドンと入ってしまうと右フロントにものすごい衝撃が入るんですね。とにかくカルーセルだけは、通常のラインよりももっと横からこう入っていきましょうと。
Being careful not to strain the car is everything in a 24-hour race.
Eingefahren.
僕はレース前にはもう少しウイングを寝かしたかったんですね。あるいは小さいものにしたかった、リアウイングを、そうすることで今270ちょっとで頭打ちになってる車速が、仮にあと10キロぐらい伸びてくれるとおそらくコーナーはさほど変わらずにストレートだけが伸びるという状態が作り出せるんじゃないかとも思ってたんです。 ただまあそれがね正しかったかどうかはまあわからない。
Was fährt er in die Box? Das ist ein... リピートインしてください。リピートインしてください。
Kazunori rises from 50th place to 37th place before handing the car over to Yasukichi Yamamoto. Four hours into the race, Ferrari is in the lead, and the hybrid Porsche GT3R is in second place. In third is Manthey Porsche number 18. Car number 135 of Volkswagen is doing well, driving one lap ahead of the GTR. Yasukichi Yamamoto completes his laps with rock-steady driving. The GTR is now in third place. Just past 8 p.m., the Subaru Impreza is in the lead of the SP3T class. And gradually, night falls upon the Nurbrurgring. At 10 p.m., an accident occurs on the pit road. It's the Golf number 135. 8 hours into the race, in the lead is Manthey Porsche number 18. In second place is Mercedes with the Z4 in third. The GTR rises to 35th overall, second in class. Check out the in-car footage at night on the Nurburgring. At the wheel is Yasukichi Yamamoto. There are no lights on most of the track, making the drivers totally dependent on their headlights. However, the drivers maintain over 200 kilometers per hour on the narrow course. The champion of the Japanese Super Endurance Series demonstrates precision driving. Something fast closes in from behind and passing at over 220 kilometers per hour. A single mistake can lead to this. There is no margin for error. 12 hours into the race. In the lead is Manthey Porsche number 18, followed by Audi number 15. In third is the SLS number 32. BMW car number 1 that had fallen behind due from a collision was now back up to 5th place. In the SPAT class, 2 of the Golf GT24s are down with car trouble, putting the GTR in the lead of its class. 5:33 a.m. Kazunori takes the wheel from Tobias. Though they had come this far with no problems, as the GTR attempts to pass a slower car with the Z4 in front, a collision occurs. Kazunori calls into the pit. 6:34 a.m. He makes an emergency pit stop. Fortunately, it was not major, and they were able to return to the race immediately. But there are more obstacles to overcome in the GTR's first 24-hour race attempt. 16 hours into the race, something is wrong with the front suspension. Irregular noise was heard in loose bends and straight sections, forcing them to pit again. At this point, the Gulf GT24 number 235 is just 3 laps behind.
まあ、とにかくこのまま持っていけば勝てるっていうのもあったから、確かにラップタイム差はあったけれども235号車が追い上げてきていて、でもこのラップタイム差だったら多分、逃げ切れると、思ってたわけですね。でところがそう思ってたらいろんなトラブルが出てピットインして止まったりね。だからね、なかなかレースっていうのは大変ですよね。思い通りにはならないですね。
They lose 15 minutes making repairs, closing the gap with the Gulf to 2 laps. At 8 a.m., the Schubel Z4 number 77 is plagued with misfortune. As the Z4 makes its move to pass the seat, it collides and loses control, crashing into the fence. "18 hours into the race. Manthi Porsche is still in the lead, but 3 minutes behind is the unscathed number 32 SLS. And just 15 seconds behind the Mercedes is the number 1 car of BMW. Meanwhile, the GTR is caught by Gulf number 235, driven by former F1 drivers Johnny Herbert and Mark Blundell. They are passed on the track, putting the GTR in second place. But luck is not with the Gulf today. A problem with her gearbox forces the car into the pit again, removing all 3 Gulfs from the race. The GTR was now back at the top of its class. 2 hours left in the race. The overall leader is Manthi Porsche, and BMW rises to second place. In third is the number 32 SLS. And in fourth is the number 14 Audi. Meanwhile, there seems to be a problem with the brakes after Yasukichi Yamamoto takes the wheel. He takes it easy for a while and continues his laps, but the condition is not getting any better. He makes an emergency pit stop just to be safe. As he had expected, the brake pads were almost gone, and the brake hoses were damaged. Though the Gulfs are out of the race, there's an Audi RS4 closing the gap just 3 laps behind. The team rushes to get the car back in action. And the GTR comes out of the pit without losing its position at the top of its class. Tobias is now the driver. The GTR also makes its final pit stop. If all goes well, they will win their class. And Kazunori Yamauchi takes the steering wheel in these final laps. the final lap. The course marshals cheer on the drivers, and Kazunori waves back in gratitude. Receiving the top checkered flag information with its rivals is car number 18 of Manthey Porsche. And the GTR has succeeded in achieving a class victory in its first participation at the Nurbrurgring.
今回勝てたというのは、本当にただの幸運だったと思いますね。ただ結果として何にせよ勝てたというのは、やっぱり GTR という車がもともとすごい車だったんですよね。で結果として GTR は速くて壊れなかった。お疲れ様。トビアス・ミハエル、安吉さん、手術のお父さん、本当にありがとう。すごいね、 GTR 走り切っちゃったよ。だから GTR が持ってるもともとの素性というかね、もっと言うとその GTR という一台の市販車が出来上がる過程で消費された膨大な開発の時間ってありますよね。それがそのままあの時の、GTR の強さになって出たんだろうなと思いますね。
Private teams are the roots of the 24 hours of Nurburgring, and this year Kazunori Yamauchi has raced as one of them. As a result, they have succeeded in attaining an amazing debut victory for the Nissan GTR in a 24-hour race. The Nurburgring will always continue to be the stage for this chaotic drama of man and machine.